Forward. I was deeply honored when Newt Scamander asked me to write the foreword for this very special edition of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Newt's masterpiece has been an approved textbook at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry ever since its publication, and must take a substantial amount of credit for our students' consistently high results in Care of Magical Creatures examinations. Yet it is not a book to be confined to the classroom. No wizarding household is complete without a copy of Fantastic Beasts, well thumbed by the generations who have riffled its pages in search of the best way to rid the lawn of Horklumps, interpret the mournful cries of the augury, or cure their pet Puffskein of drinking out of the toilet. This edition, however, has a loftier purpose than the instruction of the wizarding community. For the first time in the history of the noble publishing house of Obscurus, one of its titles is to be made available to Muggles. The work of Comic Relief UK, which, funnily enough, has nothing to do with the American organization of the same name, in fighting some of the worst forms of human suffering, is well known in the Muggle world. So it is to my fellow wizards that I now address myself. Know, then, that we are not alone in recognizing the curative power of laughter, that Muggles are familiar with it too, and that they have harnessed this gift in a most imaginative way, using it to raise funds with which to help save and better lives, a brand of magic to which we all aspire. Comic Relief UK has raised over $250 million since 1985. That's also 174 million pounds, or 34,872 galleons, 14 sickles, and 7 knuts. It is now the wizarding world's privilege to help Comic Relief in their endeavor. You hold in your hands a duplicate of Harry Potter's own copy of Fantastic Beasts, complete with his and his friends' informative notes in the margins. Although Harry seemed a trifle reluctant to allow this book to be reprinted in its present form, our friends at Comic Relief feel that his small additions will add to the entertaining tone of the book. Mr. Newt Scamander, long since resigned to the relentless graffitiing of his masterpiece, has agreed. This edition of Fantastic Beasts will be sold at Flourish and Blots, as well as in Muggle bookshops. Everyone involved in getting this book to you, from the author to the publisher, to the paper suppliers, printers, binders, and booksellers, contributed their time, energy, and materials free or at a reduced cost, making it possible for proceeds from the sale of this book to go to a fund set up in Harry Potter's name by Comic Relief UK and J.K. Rowling. This fund was designed specifically to help children in need throughout the world. Wizards wishing to make additional donations should do so through Gringotts Wizarding Bank. Ask for Griphook. All that remains is for me to warn anyone who has read this far without purchasing the book that it carries a thief's curse. I would like to take this opportunity to reassure Muggle purchasers that the amusing creatures described hereafter are fictional and cannot hurt you. To wizards I say merely, Draco dormiens nunquam titulandus. Albus Dumbledore.